Hey, hi there. Today we have Jon Gillespie-Brown back with us for another interview. Jon is the founder and CEO of Nalpeiron, a successful SaaS company for over 20 years now. Thank you, Jon, for joining us.
Not a problem.
Jon, today I want to talk about reactivation and specifically, I know that you have a new product, ZenGain, coming out. It originally just had four modules, and recently you added a fifth, and that would be the Reactivate module. Can you tell me a little bit about what reactivation is?
Well, reactivation as a stage in the life cycle is either a situation where you did a trial or a proof of concept or some other method for a prospect and they did not close into a sale. They, I would put into the let's try and reactivate them phase. And the alternative is the churned customer, somebody that was already a customer and for one reason or another did not renew on whatever cadence you tend to renew on. They also go in my bucket of reactivation because they're both opportunities to reclose a sale opportunity.
And with that being said, what is the primary pain point that you aim to solve with this reactivation module?
That's a great question. Why did we add this particular module to the life cycle? And the main point is that oftentimes, if you've got a busy deal flow, you can lose opportunities. And what a lot of sales reps probably don't get that sales managers do is, for example, being able to convert a lost customer back to a customer is way, way cheaper than it is to try and source a brand new customer in the first place. So having a focus point on any churned customers is great. It's like a magnifying glass on opportunities. And those opportunities, even if you give them a special deal, just a sweetheart deal to come back, you will still make a lot more money than if you had to acquire a brand new customer from scratch. It's usually, particularly in B2B sales, way cheaper. The other point is that if you do trials or POCs, even in B2B, the numbers are pretty poor at conversion. And again, if you can figure out what's going on there, you've got another bite at the apple, see if you can convert a customer. And so in our case, we felt like that was some real value that we would like to focus on. And so we made a specific module in our product to make that very clear. Hey, here is a large opportunity set. And it could be, if you think of the number of churn customers you get and the number of lost trials you get, for example, 75% of trials don't convert. That's a pretty large pool of opportunities. So we wanted to make sure it was called out.
And so, what would be some of the most common signs that I would assume this would be used by the sales team, correct, versus the CS team? What are some of the most common signs that sales teammates can look for in identifying customers that might be open to reactivation from these lost trials?
Yeah, good question. I would say it could be the CS team or the sales team, just depends on how big your company is and how you set things up. Certainly, reactivating a lost trial would generally be the sales team, right? It's a prospect. Um, and then if it's a lost customer, many times it is the CS team that's trying to win that back, but it can be the sales team if it's a major account or something where the company wants to focus on that particular account. But I would say majority of times CS. What are we looking for? Well, in particular, with regard to the Reactivate module, what we're looking for is to track what kind of engagement we had. So if we split down trials from customers, in the trial sense, the majority of trials that fail on B2C are just lack of engagement at all. People just forget, basically, download a consumer product, the weekend and then just forget all about the fact that they had interest in it. They got busy. So that's quite an easy one because you can easily see, did they engage at all? What kind of level of engagement? But let's just say that they did engage. What level of engagement did they have? And let's turn the tables the other way around. Let's say they were super engaged, but then they didn't convert. Okay, well, that's really interesting, right? That's data you can use in sales and say, wow, is it a timing issue? Is it a budget issue? Because they use the product a lot. So you've got to get a feeling, could be a hot prospect, right? So from that perspective, having the engagement data, having access to did they hit my key features or not, how long were they engaged for, what kind of journey did they have, creates a conversation. And then a smart salesperson will be able to say, well, that's a hot prospect. They really were engaged. There's something wrong here. I bet I could fix it. I bet I could fix the budget. I bet I could figure out the timing because it's usually those things. If there's zero engagement, then you can say, well, maybe I can hit him up and get him to start again. That's a real big opportunity. If it's neither of those things, well, maybe it was just one of those things and you're not going to be able to focus on them. So the benefit in that case is you have some data to communicate effectively with the prospect, and that gives you a greater opportunity to try and encourage them to buy the second time around. With a customer, it's more about trends. What happened? Uh, again, are they really engaged, but then they churn, and you're like, wow, that's kind of weird. Again, is it a budgetary issue? Did we not communicate effectively that, um, you know, we're willing to negotiate? We don't want to lose that customer. Maybe we just didn't get an opportunity to do that. If they're super engaged, again, they're in the green zone. Let's try and figure that out. It's kind of weird if they really love the product, but they don't re-up. The second kind of area would be, um, okay, they've been a customer for a while, but they're not using our key features, right? We haven't activated them in the maximum value we can deliver. And again, therefore, we've got a story, right? Oh, you've churned. Looks like you weren't getting maximum value. Did you know this feature, that feature, and the other feature could really help you on A, B, and C? Again, could be a hot prospect. Let's keep them. And remember, much less expensive to reactivate that existing customer than it is to go and find a new one. So what can we do? What can we do to help that customer convert? And conversely, if basically you can just see over time their usage going down, then you could be like, not such a hot prospect. Maybe they just don't need this product anymore. And so you can focus your CS or sales efforts on the really hot renewal opportunities or reactivation opportunities based on the data that we've collected and we can provide you with in the Reactivate module.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you very much. All of these insights are available in your latest product, ZenGain, specifically the Reactivate module. Thank you very much. That should be good.
No problem.